What up, Sideways fam? Welcome back to the channel. We are here with a IROC Camero. It's something different that we normally don't usually work on, but it's got something really cool under the hood. So let me go ahead and show you what we're doing to this thing, what's going to be getting done to this thing, and there'll be probably a video or two about this thing before we get it on dyno. So definitely got to say I love his license plate. That's pretty cool. I like the little NASCAR wing he's got going in the rear. The side exit exhaust, I don't really know how I feel about that. I think we're going to remove this hitch he's got on here and try to go more like Supra style or something coming out the back. That's a little hint of whatever's in here, obviously. Got a pretty good stance. Got a Toyo tire in the rear. It's not an R compound, but he is running a 265/40/18. Not bad. I think our buddy Trevor had these on his car at 1.2, and they actually hooked pretty decent. Customer's only going for like 500 horsepower, so not a huge deal. Inside, the car is pretty stock. I mean, you can see the 2JZ cover there. Sorry, I just basically like spoiled the surprise, but it's got a custom center console. He's running an AR5 transmission, and Caden's over here already tearing this thing apart. 2JZ GTE, guys, underneath the hood. A shop in Mississippi, or somebody in their backyard from Mississippi built this thing a few years back. This Navy customer of ours went ahead and got a hold of the car, and it's just kind of a mess, but the car did run and drive. So we're going to be ripping out this crappy factory wiring harness that's in here. We're going to be going to one of our custom harnesses with an AEM Infinity. We got to paint everything because it just looks like crap. I mean, when I give it the nice sideways special for everything, we got to pressure wash the engine bay. You got a Borg Warner, I believe it's an S366 with some weird diesel housing he's got on it. Got this super nasty downpipe in here that we're thinking about possibly changing or just wrapping so it doesn't look like that anymore. Everything's stock, you can see, even the map sensor and everything. So this thing was boost cutting and just running like complete crap when it came in. He's got a nice Champion radiator, so we don't need to worry about that. Got a big old fan on it that wasn't overheating to begin with before. So that should be cool. The intercooler piping is complete garbage. He had like 10 couplers on this side, and the ECU was covering the piping here and everything for the stock stuff. And then all this stuff's wired into like the typical old school Mustang, like little junction power blocks. So we have a lot of stuff to clean up, but it's kind of cool because there's a shit ton of room. Just so unassuming when you get in the car and like see that it has a 2J in it, and the teal almost matches the bay too, so it'll look pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and punch a hole back here in his panel that he has to go ahead and run my wiring harness. It'll have our little plate on it. It'll look really good when we're done. We're gonna delete the heater line since that's non-existent anyways and doesn't work in the car anyways. Yeah, apparently it has an ACT clutch. We're going to be having to tear all the turbo stuff off because he's running a 30 millimeter wastegate or 38 or 34 millimeter wastegate for like a Honda Civic, a 2-bolt wastegate. Those are freaking garbage. The drain line was leaking profusely while running, so that needed to get taken care of. I mean, just little odds and ends, little knickknacks we're going to have to do, but should be pretty quick to get this thing going. I'm not sure it's going to be more than maybe 2 videos. Probably us just getting everything painted, putting it back together in this one, and then getting it started and on dyno on the next one. Alrighty, guys, so we've been a little hard at work over here. Caden went ahead and started painting the valve covers, and turbo housing's off, valve covers off. Just a little sludgy. Not as bad as any of the other ones I've seen, but definitely was a high mileage, not serviced engine for any of that stuff. So yeah, valve covers, Caden already went and wrinkle blacked everything. It'll look a lot better with this teal cover. We got the drift motion fuel rail we're going to be installing with the FMS 1000cc injectors. Got brand new valve cover grommets and hardware for his bolt, for his valve covers, because the bolts were destroyed and all the washers were totally just super crappy and just not coming off. So what we're going to do right now is Caden's going to go ahead and remove the turbo manifold with the whole turbo kit. We're going to take the downpipe off. We're going to redo the drain line and the gasket in there because it's all messed up. We do need to go ahead and get in here and do an oil pressure hookup, whether we use the OEM housing or a filter adapter with a sandwich plate. Definitely a whole bunch of different ways of doing it. And then back here, we need to start removing a whole bunch of stuff as well. We need to get the dampener out from down there. We need to start removing the fuel lines. We're gonna get the fuel rail off. We'll get all that stuff installed. We need to block off the water line from here and back there, we need to loop it back underneath the manifold. So a few things you got to do. We're going to be putting a surge tank in this thing. That's not here quite yet. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get the manifold off so we can change the wastegate out and get that manifold ported out for that treadstone. And yeah, let's go. Alrighty, well, Caden got the manifold off, so I'm removing the wastegate right now so I can start porting this. So underneath, just real quick, so you can see for yourself, we have a rear sump oil pan. They've done their drain. Well, we've already actually gone ahead and finished that. He's got an AR5 transmission. You can see the Ison Toyota, it's like a Pontiac Solstice or whatever, or a Saturn Sky. And sorry, my phone was kind of like not giving us a really clear picture. So we have all of our PTFE hoses and fittings that we're going to be running. That'll consist of our whole entire feed line. And then we're going to do probably a nylon line for the return system. So I'm going to get everything on the floor for him, ready for him. I will have Caden do some recording of everything that he's doing today to get that done. We do have our sensor. We do have our sensor already planted in here for oil pressure. Most of the harness is already plugged in. I won't be able to get up there to show you what's going on up there until we're done down here. But basic work to do. Exhaust has to still get done. We do need to fab him up a new downpipe because the one that he had was just disgusting. I will try to find it out in our junk pile. Yeah, we're getting there. I'm gonna have Caden also run the harness through the firewall today, get everything mounted up and done to where literally tomorrow should be just wiring for me. Getting the exhaust work done, and then the car can pretty much get started and get finished before Friday. Alrighty, so I just set up the new performance dual 450 fuel pump setup right here for the 2JZ Camero. We're going to be installing it in the back. Caden's already ran some line. I'm not really sure how far he's gotten because he's went ahead and went to lunch right now, but we have the surge tank there. I'm gonna go ahead and start dropping in the pumps. It's as easy as just literally dropping it in. Everything kind of just floats, so you kind of just push everything inside. Make sure you clear all your little mounting pieces, and that's it. It'll drop right in. You line up the 3 holes and start hooking up your lines. Give me 2 seconds to go ahead and drop it in. All right, so we're pretty much powering through this thing. I got the intercooler piping on this side already hooked back up. Changing couplers to black so it looks better up on top. I'm gonna go ahead and cut and modify the piping on this side and weld it to get another nice little bend into the intercooler. And then we're gonna have to weld the IAT in that. And then we'll pretty much be hooked up except for just the little finalization stuff for fuel line. We gotta run the return line from up here to the regulator and start getting the harness for the firewall. Alrighty guys, so another day. We're pretty close. I'm getting the wiring situated. We're doing plugs right now. The coil packs actually were glued in to the OEM harness. We had to cut the connectors and get them off. And then the plugs that he were running was not coppers. I think they were iridiums or something, or platinums. So we're not going to be running those. Downpipe's done. Already went ahead and put a new Marmon flange on our Super Store downpipe. We're going to have to modify that to make it all his exhaust work. But intercooler piping's together. Got the throttle cable that he had before on. Got all the coolant hooked back up, all the bypass stuff done. We have the AEM Infinity inside, got my laptop in there, and everything else kind of getting ready for Danny to come so we can get this thing fired up. So I will go over the fuel system for you guys real quick. So in the back of the car right now, we got the new Nuke surge tank installed. Back here, got our 8AN PTFE line from the front. We have all of our push lock 6AN fittings that are going from the tank and everything else. Everything goes to the battery. I did wire this up originally for triple fuel pumps if we are going to go ahead and need it. Very clean. We'll obviously get everything fastened up and put together to where there's no wiring just on the floor. It'll look all nice like this. Yeah, that's super awesome. So now I'll be able to pump the surge with a pump he has in the tank right now. In the surge, we have 2 450 LPH fuel pumps in here, and that'll be way more than enough to be able to get him to 500-600 horsepower. That's going to be super great. We already have, as I said earlier, we have my full fuel pump sub harness up in here, his new race display dash that he's going to have there. So all that's super nice for one of our harnesses. That dash is actually going to fit directly on where he has over there. It's going to look really nice when we're done with it. Which we'll show you later on in the video. Fuel pressure regulator is mounted right there where Caden's got. We got everything all nice and looped in. So fuel sensor's hooked up. So, few minutes, we should be getting this thing started. I just need to do a few little finalizations for wiring, but I think I'm right there being able to get it to crank. So let's go ahead and get it all done. I'll get under the car as well and show you. We have these adapters that we picked up as well to convert his hard line to 6AN. Really, really convenient for this thing. I definitely want to show you guys how it all turned out at the bottom. Then what we'll be doing after all this is finished, we'll go ahead and get the exhaust all redone and put together, and then we can end this video, and next video will be dyno on Friday. Okay guys, so we are ready to start. Danny's already over here all plugged in. DTI is now reading because the computer's unlocked, so we're gonna get this thing started. I did. You did it? Yeah. That's going to fix the problem. Also, the brake booster is leaking right here on the seal that's right here. Kind of hard to see. But right here, this seal in the booster is bad, so we're going to have to put a one-way valve in between here and probably silicone this down for now just so that he can have brakes. Okay, guys, so Isaac's 2JZ Camero is done. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a run around of everything that is finally completed. Hop in the car, started with the BTI. It's gonna be the end of this video, so give me 2 seconds. Let's jump right into it. She's looking so much better than she did that last time. Everything's all tidied up. It looks like an actual like Supra basically now underneath the hood, like any of our other builds would be. We ended up getting the oil pressure stuff reading that you guys saw that wasn't working in the video. Last time we ended up just having a faulty sensor from AEM. No big deal. And yeah, I mean, we're probably gonna have to try to give her a quick little spray down before she goes home, but she's looking really nice. Got the harness all fastened to the firewall. Everything's all nice and zip tied down, ready for dyno. Fans all nice and wired up. And when you hop in, you have your race display right here. We actually were gonna mount it there, but we decided to mount it right here. It was a little bit like nicer. So you go like this, we come on, everything's there, digital speedometer, digital everything. Still not really tuned, so it's a little funky, but we actually got a working oil pressure now, so that's awesome. Got good battery voltage, E85 content. Is reading a little funky right now, but maybe it won't matter when we actually tune it. I'll have to probably change. We went ahead and left his gauges up in here because we don't need any of that stuff anyways. And then Caden went ahead and also finished up all the wiring back here. Looks really freaking nice, as it should, obviously. Just came out super badass, so we're super happy. Got the whole exhaust done now too, so pretty cool. Anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We did end up skipping around a little bit. Like I said, it's really been busy over here at the shop, but really cool to see a really dope car with a really dope swap get finished. And tomorrow we're gonna go get on the dyno. So you know, we're hoping for maybe 500 horsepower. I don't see why it should with the injectors, E85 standalone and a Bug Warner turbo. I mean, we've seen these do plenty more than that, but it's a stock engine, so we're not going to push it too hard. But 500 horsepower is nice for a street car, so we'll go ahead and get into 500. And yeah, guys, stay up on the video. We'll see you guys next time.